Welcome to the Creemore Winos, real conversations over a glass of wine. Welcome to the Creemore Winos podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Ridding.
Tammy Millsap.
Krista Mckee.
Jennifer Hunt.
Amazing. Well, thanks, ladies. We've got our very first podcast guest, Krista.
Yay!
We're so excited.
I'm honored to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Welcome.
So it's very natural for Krista to be joining us because from our earlier episodes, we have talked about Krista a few times. Mm-hmm. She is part of the Creemore Winos, the OG group. And we wanted her to come and join us, and we finally have you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We're so
We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about how we formed as a friendship, how all of us grew up together, and that how naturally over the years it was this organic, authentic way on how we've all reconnected. And well, Jess and I have known each other, but then Tammy and I know each other, but we grew up, and it was like with Krista, it was so natural for all of us to just become this amazing friendship circle that we are today.
Guys.
And you are amazing.
And Tammy used to be my babysitter.
See, there we go.
Is so cute.
That's the part. There you go. See,
I was her
talking
babysitter because I am what? What am I?
the grandma or
old
the grandma.
grandpa.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
the joke. They were
I'm
like,
the old grandpa of the
She
group.
has the Band-Aids on the trips.
Yes. Yes. I'm the
Still.
mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
Yes.
Mama of the
That's
group.
right.
But yes, I did babysit Krista and her sister Jordan. They lived down the road from me, and now we're friends.
I know. It's
Now we're
great.
So
friends. Now we all
neighbors
hang
growing up, we talked about Chris and I being neighbors growing up, you guys being neighbors. So
Yes.
we really are a
Yeah.
group of people that have known each other for a very long
A very
time.
long time. Yes.
I also knew
Yes.
Krista in high school because you
Yes.
were friends with my sister in high school.
I was, yes.
So we really all do go way back, and the fact that you lived in other places and then came back to Creemore, and now we all have bonded over the fact that we love each other and get to hang out all the time, which is pretty fab.
So nice.
Yeah.
And you came straight from work. We know you
did,
have a busy
yes.
schedule. So for background, Krista is a family physician. And we've given a little bit of background about all of ourselves, but we all are working parents with partners that do also work as well. And one of the things we wanted to talk about on this podcast in particular is how we balance it with our families, with our social life, how we fit work in and working out and everything else. We talked so much the last episode about Jen's healthcare journey. And sometimes it is really hard to make the time for all of those things. Have you seen those memes on Instagram? That's like, I'm supposed to like go to the gym and drink water and see my friends and like read a book and watch TV and like go on a date with my husband. And like, how am I supposed to do all of those things? And I do definitely feel the stress of that sometimes.
It's a lot. Like,
it is a lot.
It's overwhelming when you list all the things we're supposed to complete in a day, in a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're like,
You're like,
wow,
how do I do
yeah.
this? Which is also, we talked about this in the very first episode, but the reason why we were so excited to do the podcast is because we actually are carving time out to spend time together, even though it's with microphones and a camera.
Right.
It is really
We
fun
still
to
get
be
have
able
a glass
to.
of wine and sit together and chat.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so then what are those tools? So then when you talk about that, Jess, like what is the magic on how do you handle all of that?
What's the secret sauce?
Yeah. So Krista?
Oh gosh, well
Krista, you start,
I
yes.
don't have my shit together at all. So
I don't think anybody would ever think that about you because you are so
it's an
smart, so put
illusion.
together.
Yes.
No, like I feel like I definitely don't have the answers to it. I just somehow survive every day, but I'm super, super lucky to have family close by. So my mother-in-law watches the kids for most of the time when I'm at work and Adam's at work. And then we have another babysitter that helps us out and then some daycare. And but family support has been what saves us. So
Yeah. I think that's important to be able to use outsourcing as an opportunity, and using your village, the people that are surrounding you is critically important. And it's okay to say, hey, like, I would love some help. Is there a way that we can all rally together and support each other? I think is critical. Absolutely.
It really is, because
Yeah.
you need that time for yourself as well. Like, you know, you get up really early, you go to the gym. I think when you're in the throes of childhood too, you so easily miss those opportunities to do stuff for yourself. And your kids are still pretty young too.
Yes, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And
Which is
well, she's almost 4. She's not even 4 yet.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks.
Don't age her.
Yeah. And my 2-year-old has like never slept through the night. So that has been the most challenging thing for me going back to work, was just the lack of sleep and how important just like the basics are to be able to have a good night's sleep. So, yeah, like I just,
How do you
it's
catch
a
up on that?
struggle.
Do you
tough.
have
Yeah.
naps?
I don't have naps. I don't know. I think you just get like
You get
used to it. Like, you
Yeah.
honestly are so shocked about how you can just survive and keep going and make it through work the next day. You're just, I feel like we're strong mamas, and somehow you just do it.
Yeah, you manage
There's no
through.
other option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just gotten used to not sleeping at all. And then Adam and I, my husband is Adam, obviously, and we just booked a quick vacation, 4 days to go to Mexico
good
on
for you.
Wednesday,
Oh, for you.
which is nice.
So
So
nice.
good.
And I think super important, because I'm like, when's the last time we actually spent like a day together? Like, it's been so long. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want to go and sleep
Yeah.
and do nothing.
Yes.
And I think that's super important too, to make time to
For each
have
other.
you
Yeah.
have to.
You do
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Not only like away with friends or whatever, but you have to go and do that.
Right, because when we
with
go away
each
with
other.
friends, we don't tend to sleep or rest. Yeah.
It gets a little bit wild. It gets a little wild.
Yeah.
But you need that time, not only to get caught up in your sleep and relax, but to connect as partners.
Yes.
Because when you're in the thick of it, my girls are older, they're 8 and 10, but I remember, I mean, they were close together too. And just that when they're little and you're in the thick of it,
Right.
you're lucky if you get out for dinner together.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you
And
can
it's-
get away, that's really important.
And it's easy to let the resentment build when
Yes.
you don't have that time to reconnect, because you know, you see these things online that it's like you become roommates and not
Yes.
partners. And I feel like that is such a slippery slope.
Yeah, that's right.
And we have tried to, you know, make an effort to have a date night or a day date or something. And every time we do it, we're like, oh yeah, we really need to do this like once a month. And then obviously that doesn't happen in 6 months goes by, but it does make you appreciate each other more,
It
because
does.
sometimes that can easily get lost.
Totally. I think when I hear you list all of those things, Jess, I think the thing that comes to me is about prioritization. And as you get older, you realize how it's so critically important to prioritize. Like, you've got all of these people in your life, and they're all wonderful relationships, but then how do you make sure that you make time for those that you truly love and care about, and the people that maybe like that you have known forever, or like that you've run into new friendships or whatever it might be, that at the end of the day, it's about yourself, it's about your family, it's about your friendships, it's about your husband, it's about your kids, and how do you prioritize that, and being okay to say no to things.
Yes.
And I think that's been
That's
a
a
huge
big-
aha moment for me, as a way to say no, and it's and prioritize on, like, I'm already going out on this night, and I'm going to say no to whatever comes my way on the Saturday night.
Right.
And I think that's been a huge growth piece for myself, is
Yeah.
prioritization, to be able to handle all of that, being a working mom as well.
Yeah, totally.
Good
Yeah,
for you,
'cause
Jen.
you-
Because I do know that you like,
Yes.
it's hard for you to say no.
Yeah.
So
And I
good
always
for you.
look at everything that you're doing, and I'm like, how do
know.
you do that? Like,
Yeah.
you're so social, and I love that about you, but it's like exhausting for me
Totally.
to watch you do all these things. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Same. Yeah.
So I'm
It
proud of you
is.
for saying no to some things.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's a tool, I think, that I've become more comfortable with
yes.
Right.
Wow, good for
Good.
you.
over time. And I've really been focused on it in the last, like, I would say 6 months or so. And it's I do travel for when I have to travel sometimes for work, but so that can get a lot in between travel with personal. But at the same time, the personal travel is what gets me out of bed at night. So I just love
something to look
experiences.
forward to.
Yeah, that's what I love to do. So anyways, I think prioritization for me is a tool that I think a lot of people could probably hopefully
That's actually a really good point too about the traveling with friends, because I have a group of friends and I know you guys have done some trips together and your girlfriends give you so much life. Like when you have that uninterrupted girlfriend time where you can chat or read a book or hang out and be silly together. And we do a trip like about once a year, and we have one coming up in April, and it's all I can think about because I'm so excited.
Oh my God,
That's so
And
fun.
yeah, so it's nice. It gives you something to focus on, and reminds you of who you were before kids too.
Yes.
Which I also think is important, because it's easy to feel like you're just a mom, even though that job is huge and carries a lot of responsibility, but it kind of brings you back to who you were pre-kids.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about too, and something that I feel like has worked really well for us, is how to compromise better. So, for example, we are putting a lot of time into the podcast, and it is kind of, a passion project job, but selfishly, we also love it because we get to spend time together, and it has been, commitment, and we've been doing it in the evenings. So Spencer has had to kind of take on his share of responsibility in the evening, but, he has also gotten a lot of flexibility and freedom in the mornings, going to his workout, or he's been trying to fit in a lot of ski days because the snow's amazing right now. So I think that finding a balance where it's not like it's not a comparison of like you did this and I did this, but it's more of an understanding of like you need your time and I also need my time.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not like a competition. It's
Yes,
just like a
that was the word.
compromise.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
let's kind of figure this out together. I'm going to do this. You're doing this. But it's not like a
Yes,
competition.
you're not arguing
We're
or
just helping
battling
each
for
other.
time.
Yeah,
Yes,
so we can
exactly.
each have our own.
I think you
thing,
and Chris
right?
do that really well too, because you guys are busy and always going in different directions. So do you have a schedule so he knows what you're doing and where he's going to be?
Yeah.
I know.
Sometimes I feel like I can tell him. And then he'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing this." I'm like,
Adam just called me and was like,
Yes.
"Okay, I'm going to be home in 5 minutes." I'm like, "I'm not even at home. I told you I was going to do the podcast." And he's like, "Oh, but you
Yes.
didn't remind me." And I'm like,
Yes.
"Okay, sorry, I should have reminded you."
You know what?
at 5
I
o'clock
have
in
the
morning when
exact
I went
same
to the gym.
conversation
Yeah.
this morning. So it does make me feel slightly better.
Yeah.
He was like, "You never told me." I'm like, "I did. You didn't remember. So I'm
Yes.
telling you again."
Yes.
What do you girls do? What do you do, Jen? Do you have like a calendar, a shared calendar?
I'm jealous of those people that have
Because-
calendar or like a shared, on your
Chris
phone
never
or
knows what's
something.
going on, I
Honestly,
swear. And,
we've talked about this whole calendar thing where
Yes.
I see people with this magical calendar on their fridge and they mark all the things down.
Yes.
We don't have
Or like a
that.
shared like Google calendar
Shared
on your
Google.
phone.
Shared Google.
Yeah.
I could do that,
No.
but Spencer would never check it. So
No.
it's pointless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And neither would Kurt. So no, we don't have a calendar, but I'm totally with you. We're all on the same page on this front. When we tell our husbands that they're like, "You didn't tell me that," I'm like, "I did." I think at the end of the day, though, what you're talking about, the two of you, is so critical to be able to build that with your partner where there's zero resentment when it comes to what fills your cup with joy. Because at the end of the day, it fills Spencer's cup up with joy to go to the gym that morning. It fills your cup with a joy to go and record your podcast in the afternoon. And that that it's very easy breezy. It's very much sounds good. Regardless whether or not Chris and Adam and Spencer and Kurt did not remember us telling them this, there's no animosity.
No,
it's
they're
very
so
much
good.
like, okay, well, here's a reminder. And their response is always like, okay, cool. Have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important because everyone that is living, like, we are putting two human lives together as one life, and that you need to live your independent self and your joy for yourself in order to be happy for yourself, then in order to be happy together as a
You're
family
so
unit.
insightful, Jen.
I know.
I agree, but it's true, and
Preach,
the
girl.
dependence that you
Preach.
have on top of that, like
Right.
bringing people together, but then also caring for these young people who depend on us.
Right, exactly. So, but if they're seeing this, like, wow, my mommy and daddy have their own thing, but they also have a thing together, and we have a
Yeah.
thing as a family, it's like, we're creating this dynamic of like self-love, and as long as self-love is there, then love can be expressed in so many different ways, and I
love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love.
But
I just love everybody.
But so Tammy, I don't have a magic, you know.
You don't have a calendar that you follow and like written down the big calendar. No. I have my own calendar, and then I tell him, and he's supposed to put it into his calendar.
Right.
But that does not happen, so then he just never. I mean, and we do communicate. That's the thing. It's like communicate is everything.
Yeah.
But yet he still doesn't remember. So it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine.
Everything's fine.
It's
all fine.
Does Chris have his own calendar?
He does.
He does.
Yes.
Okay. And do
Yes.
you know what his calendar says?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I remember
There's a
his
difference
calendar.
between men and women. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's, that's another podcast
Yes,
episode.
It's true. Yeah.
Talking about
time management. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Time management.
Time management. Yeah.
I think I have also really tried to work on my reactions to things when he asks to go do stuff, because I know that it will come back to me, and I feel like that's something that I have had to really work on the past few years once children come into the mix.
But I just like what Adam. How does pickup hockey take 6 hours on Sunday morning? Like, you're not in the NHL. We don't need this time commitment to pick up Sunday morning hockey.
That is a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, you should also start playing.
I know.
Saturday
That's what I'm
mornings.
like. What?
Actually,
You know what? We will take up pickleball and we'll be gone for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
I mean, who knows what we can do in 6 hours? There's a lot I'm sure we can figure out, but we should pick up, you should do a sport. We'll do a sport and then we'll just be gone forever.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I'm not going to name names here, but one of Kurt's buddies' wives years ago was saying to her husband, being like, "Oh, so like you're back from golf? I didn't realize a golf game takes 6 hours." And I was like, "She actually thinks it's 6 hours."
It does take 6 hours, doesn't it?
It's like 4.
Like a full
It's
golf
like a
game.
4.
It's like 4.
Oh, okay.
But then they have to have drinks.
But now, see, Adam has taught me that a golf game is normally 6 hours.
That is
so
also what I
funny.
have been taught.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's normal. Like, I think that's
amazing
good. Yeah.
because
that is so funny.
I'm like, no, she doesn't think it's 6 hours. And Kurt's like, yeah, she does. I was like, it's a solid 4. Like,
Yes, it's
a
4
solid
hours.
4.
But then they have to have drinks and they have to have supper.
Right. But
or lunch or whenever they're playing. So it ends up being
Social,
6 hours.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I have never played golf before, but every time Spencer has gone to play golf,
Yeah,
it does seem like it's a full day.
Yeah, gone
Yeah,
forever.
full day.
Yeah. Will they come back? I don't know.
Yeah.
And yet when we go, it doesn't take 6 hours because guess what? We've got to get home
You're efficient.
because
Yeah.
we've got
You have an appointment,
Right?
like you're going to get your nails done or a waxing or something.
Right.
You're like, I'm running out the door like 15 minutes before the appointment. I am leaving as quickly as I can to get back and make sure that I'm like not
totally, Krista.
like
yes.
yeah.
Totally.
So anyways,
There's
I'm
this
just
whole
like,
other
what is
laundry
happening?
list that women have that men don't have.
Yeah.
I know. That is
Yeah.
also
You're
true.
right.
Yeah. Hair, nails,
Right.
all the
Yes.
things.
But
Face lasers.
So true. Don't you find that we always have something to do? Like today, I went on a date ski with Chris. Yes, for 2 hours.
How many runs were in the 2 hours?
You know, we like to ski and stop because then he tells me what I need to improve.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's
Less
my
pizza,
coach.
more
He's my
French
coach.
fries.
And then and guess what? Yes, more French fries. And then I wiped out. I was telling the girls, I totally wiped out.
Yard sale.
My legs were pretzeled.
Oh no.
That's a whole other thing because then he was trying to tell me how to get up and I'm like, have your legs ever been twisted
Behind
this
your
way?
back, yeah.
Please don't help. Just carry on.
Also, like constructive feedback from your husband on something that you're not good at is very infuriating.
It's very difficult.
Yes.
But I'm like, it's our time together. So I'm going to smile
Enjoy
and
it,
listen and try to improve what he's telling me to do. But my whole thing is I had to rush. Like, I'm like, oh, no, I have this and this and this to do. And like, I always
Gotta
have
go.
like a list of things.
Yeah.
But you're right. When they go, it's,
Easy breezy.
we're gone for the day.
Yeah.
Like, this is like where we always have a list and we always know when we run to get our nails done, or we run to this, or we run to this appointment, and then we're like, oh, we have to rush back because we have to get this.
It's the mental load
Right?
of everything we have
Yes.
to take on.
Yeah.
It's so
Yes.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
have
never
you
just
heard
you're
that about like
relaxed.
grocery shopping? That it's like, it's not the act of grocery shopping. It's not the act of cooking dinner. It's the mental fatigue that you have of thinking about it constantly.
Yes.
Like, what do I need to buy that I'm then going to make for dinner or for lunches
Right.
at school or
Snacks,
whatever?
yeah.
And it's the constant like cycle of that, and like trying to think
Yeah.
of something different, and that's what gets you so bogged down in the
Right.
details.
Yes.
I feel that way.
I felt like so overwhelmed with it at Christmas time and the holidays and like the present gift giving. Oh my gosh, I could tell a story about that one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So like you're thinking about everybody's gift because obviously, like I don't know about, I should speak for myself. I often have to buy all the gifts for all the family and the friends and
Yes.
everything. And then thinking of like the wrapping paper for each set of gifts from said person and
making sure it looks different.
exactly. So
Yes.
the kids know that. Anyways, so I had spent such a big amount of time and effort in getting all the gifts and the wrapping the presents and like coming home from clinic exhausted and staying up late and wrapping everything. And the tree looked beautiful and the presents were all underneath the tree. And it was Christmas Eve morning. I went to the gym and I was coming home and my husband was leaving and he's like, oh, just so you know, the kids opened a couple presents when I was in the shower. And I was like, okay, like maybe they opened like one or two presents. And I drove up to the house and they had opened every gift underneath the tree. I had a full like mental like breakdown. I was just like, I didn't get to see
How
their
long
faces.
was his shower?
He showers for like an hour. I'm like, we have a 2 and a 4-year-old. If they're not, if you're not watching them and they're gone for more than 5 minutes, they're not doing anything that they should be doing.
Yeah.
Like they can't eat a meal. You can't let them just have breakfast and go have a shower. Like they'll have stuff everywhere. Anyway, so all the Christmas presents were open and it like broke my heart because I was like, I have spent so much time to make this perfect for you. And I wasn't even there when you got to open them. But luckily they're young enough that like I
didn't
rewrapped them.
remember.
And my mother-in-law tried to help me out too. And so, but I could have killed Adam.
That's a,
but
that's a
anyways.
lot.
That's a
because you
lot.
try
That's
to
a lot.
put so much
It makes
time into
everything so
it.
I know.
perfect.
Like,
And
Yeah.
to your
Right?
point, like the thinking through and the organizing.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't even think he understands how difficult that would have been because they don't do it.
yeah.
We had this
it's true.
conversation on on one of our earlier podcasts too, because I also have Spencer's birthday and Ava's birthday, so it's like two birthdays
Yeah.
and
And
Christmas,
Christmas.
and I feel it more now than ever. And I love Christmas. I still love Christmas, but like it is the mental load that you carry of the organizing,
Yes.
and
It's a lot.
yeah,
It's a
it is a
lot.
lot. Oh, that's
Sorry,
must have
Adam,
been
I'm not
so-
supposed to bash you, and I think it's a lot. I've already broke that rule like 5 minutes into the podcast.
Let's just hope he
from
doesn't
now
listen
on,
to it.
you're
Yeah.
great.
I can't wait to be with you in Mexico.
I love you.
Wait, when are you going to Mexico?
On Wednesday.
Oh,
So-
I
Yeah,
love
so I have
that.
2 more
So
days
nice.
left of
Oh,
clinic, and then we're out
that's
of here
nice.
Wednesday morning, which will be so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Hopefully the weather's
Yeah.
good and we can just like chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited, but I don't remember the last time just me and him went away. Like once you have kids, I feel like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so hard. And then when you go away with friends, you're constantly like partying and not sleeping and
Having the time of your life,
having
but it is
such a
not
good
relaxing.
time.
Yes.
But like you get home even more tired than you left. So
Yeah, you
Hopefully
need a
this is just
vacation after a
chill.
vacation.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So this
Yeah.
is, you need this. You need to do this.
yeah, it should be good.
It's very important.
yeah.
So I have a question. Is it just the way that us women are made up? Is this just like what we are inhibited because it's just our natural instinct? And then I ask ourselves, like, why don't we delegate more to our husbands? Like, why don't we say you need to? Is it because we're afraid they're not going to get it right because we just have that gut instinct in our brains. Like, what is that?
I think part of it
I'm
is
guilty
pressure
of it too.
from
I am
society.
with all of you on this.
Yeah. I think there's expectations from society on like what role women should play in the house or with families or like coordinating, making Christmas magical or what have you. We probably do it to ourselves. Maybe I think we probably all are a little bit type A personalities that
100%.
want things to be nice and be amazing.
Certainly.
We want our kids to be super happy. Like I think we probably all have a little bit of that in us.
Totally.
I do think that, I don't know, but I do think that men have come a long way. Like
Yes.
when I do get
say
frustrated over
that.
stuff like that, I try so hard to remind myself how much Spencer does so that I
Yes.
don't think about what isn't getting done.
And it's hard to like think about what they do when you think about everything you do.
Yes.
Like to take the time and
Yes.
be like, okay, well, actually, like there probably is a lot that they are doing that we're just maybe not seeing. Or
Yeah.
I agree because
Yeah.
I think of growing up, my dad, and nothing against him, but there was 4 kids and my mom did the majority of everything. I mean, there wasn't diapers being changed by him or, feeding us in the middle of the night or
point.
getting up. That was my mom. And it was nothing against him. I think it was just a different time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So when I look at, Chris now, what he did, when the babies were small and like changing the diaper and staying with them so that we can go out for a night or we go away or whatever. It's come a long way.
It has come a long way.
So you're right. In the midst of everything, you're
right.
so upset, but you do have to be like, no, you know what? They do really help us to be able to go do what we can do.
And help us
Right?
to be able to work,
Yes.
circling back to what we started the episode with is having that work-life balance. And I think that in a lot of cases, women wouldn't be able to work if men didn't help pick up some of the slack. And maybe it's not perfect, but I do think it is better than it used to be. And the whole thing that I was saying earlier about like compromise when you're trying for it not to be a competition, I also try to do that with like stuff in the house or with the kids too, because you can look at it very one-sided and think, oh, these are all the things that I'm doing. But I have to remind myself that it goes both ways.
I agree, because even if I said, okay, Kurt, you're doing these 5 things that I typically do, I think my A-type personality would bother me because it might not be the way that I would want it done. And so therefore the resentment needs to be gone, because it's like my choice is to also own this.
Right.
And that is my choice.
Yeah.
And so I completely agree with that. And also going back to the working point, is working makes us happy. We feel purpose. We feel value. We feel fulfilled. And I think it's like I would choose that or this life with the 5 things on my list that you listed, Jess, at the top of this podcast. I would choose that over not being a working mom, because it fulfills me in every way. Yeah.
And I have so much admiration, there we go, for stay-at-home moms.
Oh,
my God,
100%. On the other side
I
of it.
don't
Because
like,
it's-
I
yeah.
can't even imagine. Like
whole
after a
beast.
couple months of having the kids at home postpartum, I was like, I would do anything to get out of here. Like I need to feel a purpose. I need to get out of this house. Like I see the moms that love it so much and are like, my sister-in-law is the most amazing mother ever. I'm like, you love these kids. You love spending every minute of your day with the kids. And now she homeschools the kids and she's like a rock star.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I could never do this. Like I need out. For me, that makes me a better mom when I come home from work and I've done my own thing and spend that time with the kids. But like, I just like praise people that are stay-at-home moms and can do this.
I know. I look at them and I think I
100%.
wish I could do that, but I can't. Like I remember being at home with a newborn, and I feel like it also maybe was a bit of an identity shift too, where you're working full time, you have all the stimulation, you're with adults, and then all of a sudden you're at home with a baby and feeling like, wow, like this is so much harder than I thought, and like don't know how people do this like all the time and stay on top of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Cheers to
Yeah.
those that,
Yeah,
that
cheers
stay
to
at
that.
home with the kids. I think that is the hardest job.
I agree.
It really is. It's the hardest job.
It's the hardest
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
So such a good point, Krista. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that.
on that note, I feel like we covered a lot in today's episode. Krista, would you like to leave us with any parting words of wisdom?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Don't put me on
No
the
pressure.
spot. That was
no
the
pressure.
one thing.
I know. Well, as our guest of honor, we want you to.
Well, I appreciate being here. This was lovely. Hopefully, I get asked back.
Yeah.
Yes, anytime.
Yes.
Hopefully Adam doesn't kill me again.
back
I love you. Sorry.
Well, thank you for joining us. We love you. We're so happy that you were able to come.
And I'm so proud of you guys. I can't wait to watch the other episodes. It hasn't launched yet, but when I get the
Soon.
chance to, I will be just devouring it. So thank you.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
With my bubbly.
Cheers, cheers.
Bubbly.
Cheers.
Do you know why not?
Oh, the wine we're drinking. The wine.
Yes,
Oh,
the
we
wine.
should wrap
Yeah,
this
we need
up
to
with
wrap
the
it up
wine we're
with that.
drinking.
We
Yes.
are drinking is a Sandbanks, and it is a red wine, and it's from Niagara.
It is
And
very nice.
It's good. It's very good,
It is
isn't
very
it?
nice. Yeah, I like it.
So, yeah.
Well, cheers to
Very
that.
good.
Until next time.
Thank you.